Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a Tsukishima X listener. It's Chatterbox by Boobop on AO3. The link will be in the description, and let's go ahead and get into it. Kei knew he wasn't the easiest person to be around. He was blunt, purposefully harsh in his judgment, and made it very clear that he didn't care for making any more friends outside of Yamaguchi. In junior high, his peers steered clear of him, brushing him off as someone who was just unapproachable, that they shouldn't bother with, and he was completely okay with that. And then you came into the picture. He didn't think he could hate people more than he already did, but you proved him wrong. With your endless chatter, you rambled on and on to him about anything and everything that you could, from TV shows you liked to some idiotic epiphany you had on the way to school that morning. Things he couldn't care less about. In an attempt to get rid of you, he ignored your existence entirely. His mouth zipped shut as he tried to wish your presence away. Much to his dismay, his unresponsiveness did nothing to deter you. The one-sided conversations were something you never really seemed to mind. Having grown tired of asking you to go away and bother someone else, he accepted his fate as your unwilling listener. Not that he was listening much, anyways, but he couldn't ignore you forever. Through the countless conversations, if you could even call them that really, he ended up learning plenty about you. He probably knew just about everything about you. He knew your birthday, your favorite color, how awkward your first kiss was, that your neighbors always partied at the most inconvenient times, the name of your first pet, your shoe size. He knew it all, and although he would never admit it out loud, he was willing to know more about you. When he had grown, an actual interest in your rambles was something he didn't quite know, but he did know it was a problem. It was only in your second year of junior high that he actually did something about the change in his attitude, and you most certainly noticed. On the first day of school, you cornered him in the hallway, after finding out that the two of you were classmates again, and told him what you did during spring break. And to your surprise and joy, he gave the smallest hum of acknowledgement as you spoke. It was the first time he had responded to you without an insult, or a request for you to go away. He thought his heart was going to burst out of his chest when you gave him the most sincere smile, and he wondered if there was something wrong with him. His hums soon turned into one-word replies, then short sentences, and eventually it was safe to say that your conversations were no longer one-sided. He listened, he thought about it, and he'd get back to you with what he wanted to say. While his replies were brief, it was just enough for the butterflies in your stomach to awaken, dancing around to the point where you almost couldn't bear it. On good days, Kei would start the conversation himself, usually asking you to continue a story you hadn't gotten the chance to finish. And those were the days where your friends noticed a giddy smile plastered on your lips on the walk back home. Yamaguchi wasn't the only one who recognized some sort of change in his friend's aura. The intimidation and irritation that had often radiated off of him had been replaced by a much more calm, thoughtful, and even happy air. He had an idea that it had something to do with you. After all, Kei used to complain about you all the time, and he's seen you talk your heart out to the grump during the assemblies. And if he wasn't so afraid of Kei beating him into oblivion for it, he'd suggest that perhaps a little crush for you had formed. The second term rolled around, and you could say you knew a decent amount about Kei. He's mentioned a brother, that he plays volleyball, he knows a lot about dinosaurs, and that he's got a really small appetite. It may not be much, but it's enough for you. At this point, Kei seems to see you as a friend. A really annoying friend. Wanting to step it up, you ask him if he'd be willing to eat lunch with you and your friends. Once, and after weeks of begging and bribery, he gave in. To say he was shocked by how quiet you were was an understatement. The person who literally talked his ear off for the past year and a half was completely silent for once, kindly listening to your friends and allowing yourself to blend into the background. Watching the dynamics of your friend group, he couldn't help but notice all of them were talking over each other, their loud voices grating on his ear. It finally clicked in his head. No wonder you'd babble to him about everything. You'd barely get a word in if you tried to talk to your friends. He couldn't help but feel a little proud that he was the one you went to whenever you had to talk about something. Not these guys. It was him. He gets to know about your obscure fears. He gets to know what movie you watched last night. He gets to know all of your favorites, all of your interests. He gets to know you more than any of them could ever dream of. And now, here he was with you, 2 years later. Yamaguchi's gone off to practice his serves, and he's left alone to walk you home. It was one of those nights where you've got nothing to say, and neither of you mind. The silence is comforting, and there's a warmth that comes with being in one another's company that made up for it. Well, there's that, and the warmth that comes with wearing his jacket. The subtle smell of his cologne wafts up to your nose every now and then, a sense of calm washing over you whenever it does. When he reaches your house, he doesn't want to let you go. He doesn't want to ask you to give back his jacket. It's a stupid nagging feeling that he can't get rid of, and as much as he tells himself he wants to get rid of the desire to be around you, he really doesn't mind craving your company. Okay, your voice is soft, exhaustion clear in the way you spoke. He lifted his gaze from his feet to look at you. Your hair was an absolute mess, strands sticking in every direction possible, despite your many attempts to smooth it down. Yet, it still framed your face quite nicely. You were barely keeping your eyes open with how tired you were, and your soft lips were slightly parted. Shit, he just wanted to pinch your cheeks whenever you looked at him like this. I think I like you, listener, he confessed. It was about time anyway. He's sick of waiting for you to give him an excuse to express his feelings, and he's figured that he might as well get this over with before it eats him up inside. Your eyes are now wide open, and you're searching his face, waiting for him to laugh and cruelly tell you that he was joking. But he does no such thing. Instead, he reaches up to his neck and puts on his headphones, prepared to walk home as if nothing happened. Oh no, you're not letting him do that. Hey, where are you going, you idiot? You panicked, grabbing his wrist and pulling him closer to you. I was planning on going home. Damn it, Kate, don't do that. Just don't do that after saying something like that, you scolded him. At least let me respond before you go running off like that. Jeez. Oh? And what is your response, He teased. Of course he knows you like him back. He wouldn't have confessed otherwise. You know I like you, you muttered, releasing his wrists and gently placing your hands on his face. Okay, maybe he wasn't expecting you to be so affectionate, but he didn't mind. Are you going to do anything about it? His breath fanned your cheeks, reminding you how close the two of you were. You glared at him for teasing you and leaned in to kiss the corner of his lips. That's it? I thought you had more in you than that, listener. Maybe if you're nicer, I'll give you a proper kiss. Oh, I'll show you how nice I can be. Alright, that's the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!